These Friday night games are going to be really interesting. I'm finding only a few options in each position. There's no real clear cheap guys so you can spend up elsewhere. So I think it's going to be very difficult to pick someone like a Nico Hines in the halves and the hooking position. So in saying that, this outside back section, there's obviously a clear top couple of guys. Drinkwater and Ramian both have that opportunity to score real big, that 60 plus types of scores. And then from then on, I find it really difficult to pick someone that would be able to hit anywhere near that mark. We have someone like Connor Tracy who presents a little bit of value, I think, at that just under 15,000 clip there. The last three games since he's moved, since he's moved into the centres there, has scored really well at 40 at a minimum there. If we're looking down further, we've got guys like Reece Walsh, who's come in with a couple of better games. Obviously up against Parramatta this game, he'll have to step up for the Warriors to win. It's great to see them get a win last game. Someone like Shioni Katoa has that chance. He's done that once this year, which is, a very small chance of getting up there, but 12,800 is a solid one there. You got guys like Gutherson, who has been playing a little bit better. I think Mike Acevo is probably one to play there at 11,000. If you want to get someone expensive in that game in the halves, whether you're looking at a Mitch Moses or something, then I think Mike Acevo is a definite in what you have to play there. We've got the Hammer there playing in the centres. He's an interesting one. If he can get if there can be a pretty solid closer game there, I think the Hamaso could get some benefit out of that, especially with Val Holmes not playing and him being on that left-hand side. If Dearden plays, I think you can get a couple of those short balls there for him and do a good job. Other than that, you've got guys like Arthurs who you could probably play with at 9,000, but you have the potential to get a 0.7, so not great there on that front. So that's the halves hookers, and potentially a Will Kennedy who's had some 30s. If you're looking at that at a 9,700, you could do that to try and get a Nico Hines in this outfit where 25,000 obviously scores incredibly well, but you have to find that cash elsewhere and try and find some guys that have a little bit of value in that 9,000 mark. So that's the theory there, and where it gets a bit difficult. You got guys like Reece Robson and Mitch Moses, who both have a great opportunity to do well. I think Moses would be the clear guy to pick out of those two. Robson's going to have a big game, but I'm probably thinking a mid-50 score, whereas Moses has that chance to hit those heights of the 60 plus. At that 21,600, you really need him to do that. Guys a little bit lower. Blake Brayley, again, a little bit up and down, 60 odd, 30 odd. And can be that way if he's not scoring a try, for example. So he's someone that you can think of as well. But in terms of anyone lower, I think Matt Moylan there, if you want to go cheaper, maybe him in the flex and go, Will Kennedy in the outside backs to be able to get a Nico Hines for sure. But Moylan's had 3 awesome scores, 47 plus in the last 4 games. So he's a great pick for your squad. Chanel Harris-Tavita's there as well as a potential option, but he hasn't scored really well all year. That 43 that he got last game was in the fullback position. So that's that. On the halves and hookers, fairly slim. I wouldn't be picking any of like the Reed, the Dylan Browns, those types of players. Just haven't been doing super well of recent time. And then I think it's really tough to find someone cheaper in the forwards this week. So you got Isaiah Papali, who's back in that 12 position, which is great, and scored a try last week to get him a 70. He definitely hits more tackle breaks in that position. I think that he could be a solid one going forward. Toru Harris there had a really good game, obviously with the try last week, but had been low before that. So him playing in the 10 position, I don't think that changes too much for him. Hopefully you can get it somewhere near a 50 for him and Josh Curran, but I still think you can find a little bit better value elsewhere at 18 and 18,500 there for sure. Aiken obviously a solid one as well, but he's had his big game last week, but has had some lower ones in between, so he could be somewhere anywhere between 38 and 70 for him, which is a bit scary for sure. Jason Taumalolo coming off a couple of lower games, but we're needing him to step up as well. Sean Lane could go back to some of his best form, but a 39 last week wasn't great. Anywhere over the 50 mark at 17k would be great. You got Jazz Tavanga, who could get a decent score as well, but again, we haven't seen a 50 plus from him in a good while, and that's what we're hoping for here. You can go as guys like Adden or Junior, Regan Campbell-Gillard, but again, you're looking at scores around the 40 mark. Nothing too special, to be honest. Dale Finucane could have a better game there. He played the 13 role last week, some big minutes. He could be solid, but I think Murata Niokore is the best way to go about it here. 12,750 scores in the high 30s and low 40s. I think in a 13 position, he could play some decent minutes and score somewhere around that 40 mark. So he's definitely someone to select here. And I think Teague Wilton's an interesting one. He gets the 11 jersey back with Nakora out. So a good 80-minute performance should see somewhere above the 40 mark. So Teague Wilton and also Murata Niokore are the two guys I'm looking at this week. You go for someone like Cohen Hess, who's coming back from an injury-affected game. on the 2nd of July, so 2 weeks ago now. And the 2 games before that had high 30s. So if you needed to go someone cheaper, he would probably be the way to go. And then anyone else from there, I am not very interested in. But that's that Friday night video, guys. Jump in that, in the description below and get that sign up link. Get cranking on Draftstars. If you enjoyed last night's Origin, if you finally caught us there, I hope you did well. I hope you got in the money. I just snuck in there after updates actually for mine, which was very happy considering I had 2 entries in there. So that was that. I hope you enjoy these videos, guys. I'll catch you in the next few. See you later.